Hi, first grade mathematicians. Yesterday, we started learning about clocks. We learned that clocks are a tool that is used to measure time. We learned that clocks have a face. An analog clock, like in this picture, has a face with numbers 1 all the way to 12. And it has hands, an hour hand and a minute hand. Some even have a second hand. We also learned about digital clocks, like this kind that you see on this Apple Watch. A digital clock tells us time in numbers. The first number is the hour, and the second numbers you see is the minutes. We also learned that time is important because people plan their day around time. It helps us to say when we're going to do certain things like eat dinner or play outside. Today, we'll be focusing on this kind of clock, the analog clock, because I want to teach you that mathematicians can read a clock to tell time by the hour by looking at the hour hand and seeing what number it's pointed to. So we know with analog clocks that they have numbers on their faces. These numbers go from 1 through 12. So just to get a nice little reminder, let's do a counting activity together from 1 to 12. 1, 2, oh no, we're missing a number. I think you guys know what it is. It's the number 3, so let's put in 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh, we're missing another number. What comes after 8? If you said 9, you're right. Let's put 9 in there. 10, 11, 12. Oh, but I see parts of our clock that are missing. So let's start at the 1 and count around to see what numbers we have that are missing on our analog clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so as you can see, 12 is the number on top, 6 is the number on the bottom, and then we always go with a clock, we always go this way. That's called clockwise. We never go the other way, and I know I told you in the video yesterday, the clock doesn't go backwards, okay? So that would be counterclockwise. When we're reading time, we're going clockwise. As explained in the Brain Pop video yesterday, these numbers are the hours in the day. And this clock has no hands yet, but when I want to tell the hour, I have to look at what the number the shorthand is pointing to. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to make a little shorthand, and it's pointing to a number. If I draw kind of like an imaginary sight line, I can see where that number is going, what number that is. That little hand right there is pointing to the number 2. So I can tell that this is 2 o'clock. I can write that in 3 different ways. One of the ways I can write that is like this. I can write it with letters. 2 o'clock. Or I might write it like this. 2 o'clock. And the o'clock part stands for of the clock. Or I can write it like I would see on a digital clock, which would be 2 for the hour, a colon, and then 0, 0 for the minutes, because there's no minute hand on this clock. So that would mean that there is no minutes started. I should also tell you that the hour hand goes around the clock 2 times a day, okay? It goes around the clock for all of the AM hours, meaning kind of like morning into afternoon. So from midnight until 11:59 in the morning, that is the AM hours. And then it goes around the clock one more time for the PM hours, which is 12 noon all the way to 11:59 p.m. at night. Now, going back to how we're going to write clock numbers today, we're going to write our clock numbers using the numbers and the colon. So this type right here. Okay, we're not going to use the letters to spell out 2 o'clock or write the number and the word o'clock. We're going to use the numerical way to write the time. All right, so let's go down to our next slide, and I'm going to show you how you can tell time on these clocks. So it says, look at where the hour hand points. Write the time. Okay, so I'm going to look very closely at my hour hand. Now, there's only one. Most clocks have the hour and the minute hand. Some have an hour, a minute, and a second hand. Okay, but for today, we're just looking at the hour hand. So we need to figure out what number this hand is pointing to. So I see this little arrow. I know that must be the hour hand. And if I go all the way across, I can see, oh, it is pointing to the 9. So I'm going to say that it is 9 o'clock. The way that I'm going to write it, I'm going to write it right on this line. 9 for the hour, and then my colon, my 2 little dots, and then 0, 0 to represent the minutes. Since there is no minute hand, we're just going to say that there's 0 minutes. All right, let's do it again with number 2. So let's take a look. Here is my hour hand. I'm going to go all the way up, and I see that it's pointing to the 1. So I'm going to write 1, colon, 0, 0 to represent 1 o'clock. Okay, on this last one, I want you guys to help me and follow along. Okay, so I'm just going to point, and then you're going to say what it is. And you're going to see if what you say matches up with what the answer is. Here's the hour hand. Where is it pointing? What number is that? If you said 11 o'clock, then you're right. And the way that we're going to write that is this way. 11 for the hour, colon, 0, 0 for o'clock, representing no minutes. Okay, so mathematicians, it is now your turn. So your work is going to be a little bit different today. I've given you a survey. So click on the link on the slides page, and you're going to have multiple choice questions. You have to look at the picture of the clock and then decide which answer matches the clock. All right, good luck. I know you'll do great. Bye, first graders.